What is up, chat? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful... Oh, we're on the wrong screen. Let's switch it back to the main screen. We gotta go to my beautiful face cam first. How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Tuesday. It was my first day back to the market. Like I mentioned yesterday, I took the day off yesterday. Had some personal things I had to do, personal errands I had to run. But today, back to the market. And the markets actually gave you a pretty wild move, to say the least. I mean, pre-market, we had a nice little flush off. And then the rest of the day just had a monster reversal. I mean, out of left field, big move out of nowhere. So I was shocked. At the same time, I was very happy because I was mostly in longs now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think I had many shorts. If anything, I had maybe one short on the day, and you know, it didn't work out surprisingly enough. So yeah, monster moves on the market. Nvidia with the monster move on itself today with the day 2 of the conference going on. Make sure that I'm not muted first. Yeah, so lots of craziness going on in the market overall. And tomorrow we got the big FOMC decision at 2 o'clock. We got Papa Powell going on to conference at 2:30. We're going to be playing poker with good old Papa Powell throughout the day tomorrow. So it's going to be fun to see how the market sets up going into that event, how the market gets ready for that event, and how that event plays out overall. So very, very fun day. Along with that, we have an IPO tomorrow. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into that IPO. Deep dive to the best of our ability, at least find out a little bit more about it, see what they do, what are they about, and maybe that can give us a little bit of a little bit of a bias, but not too much of a bias, because we don't want that bias to screw us into that trade. But yeah, looks like a pretty busy Wednesday. Did not expect Tuesday today to be busy at all, but pretty active Tuesday, to say the least. And I came out with a nice little green day, so nice little 4-day green streak for me at the moment. Loving my March so far. Excited to see what else can I keep pulling out over here from the store and put it to work. Pull out my tools, put it to work on the market, and that's what this whole episode or this whole stream is about. We look at all things on the earnings boards. We look at news-based stocks that are moving around. See if we can find any trades that can set up for us on the next day, and you know, get ready for them. And then maybe even watch a little YouTube video at the end of our stream to learn something new every single day. So welcome once again. I'm your boy TraderPrad. This is After the After Hours, and we're going to get the party started. Let's go to the full screen. Bring in the watch list to start off with over here. Like I mentioned, we have a couple earnings stocks coming up tomorrow. Pre-market, Pinduoduo, PDD, Temu, for those of you who don't know, is basically Pinduoduo. GIS, General Mills over there, another stock to keep an eye out for. XPEP did announce earnings today, pre-market. Didn't really have too much of a move in it, but nor did I spend any time looking at the XPEP's earnings report at all. So we'll kind of see if XPEP's earnings report was exciting, and maybe just because of FOMC and so on, XPEP just didn't make any move and could set up for a trade date on the day 2 setup or so on. And the same type of idea with CNM. So maybe we can move CNM a little bit higher with XPEP. ALAB, the IPO we were talking about, coming up with an IPO tomorrow. Very interested to see what that company is all about. I do have a little bit of an idea. I think it's about semiconductors and AI, and we already know how any company that's semiconductors or AI in its description, what they end up doing recently. So very interesting to see what ALAB ends up moving around tomorrow. Like Dell and Synopsys moving around along with the whole Nvidia conference. Synapsis actually moved pretty goddamn well to the upside today. Monster move, almost hitting that 600 level that we were looking out for from yesterday. So most likely continue to keep on watching that 600 level, but we'll talk more about that in depth when that stock comes up. We got Bitcoin. My goodness, I don't know if you guys are watching right now in the after hours. Bitcoin dropping down to $60,000. Big flush coming in on BTC USD, but successfully holding above 60 at the moment, thankfully, J Lord. But the big move coming in over here on Bitcoin, flushing even harder. Looks like a good amount of outflow, showing its path to the downside over here. People are looking for exits as 100K is just not something that they were diamond handing enough ability for some of the bulls over here. Some of the bulls exited, not enough of diamond hand ability for them. Got another order around 58K, says our diamond hander. However, Mr. Angry Buddha, I just almost broke my hand over there trying to crack my hand. Ooh, that feels weird now. Hopefully my hand's all fine. But Angry Buddha, our resident Bitcoin bull, diamond hander, coming in, calls it. He's saying he's going to have an order at 58K to buy more. Let's see if Bitcoin can have a little bit of a rally. Obviously, if Bitcoin moving around like that, we're going to watch how stocks like Coinbase, Mara, GBTC, BITO, IBIT move around, see if any trade set up on those. We also have the semiconductor industry, basically watching Nvidia sympathy trades on the semiconductors, and the Mag 7, as we always like to keep a track on to see how they're moving around, possible trades on them. Microsoft kind of moving right back into all-time high today, if I remember. Didn't really have a trade on Microsoft today at all. We can actually start off the stream by talking about my trades, but here's Microsoft moving back into a little bit into the all-time high area, maybe getting ready to trade again into this range. We'll have some possible trades over here, but let's actually get started with my trades on the day. Gotta alternate hands at night, bro. I mean, but then it's harder to finish if I alternate. It's harder to finish if I alternate. You know what I'm talking about. Let's start off with my trades on the day. I had a pretty good trade over here on CNM. CNM is actually a stock that we were talking about on our watch list from yesterday. I'm actually trying to pull up my watch list from yesterday. Give me a second. We didn't really have any levels. Move to a new tab. Come on. We didn't really have any levels to talk about on CNM other than the fact that the stock was coming out with its earnings report and that it was in a nice little range right into its all-time high. So we were looking at to see if the stock would come out with a report that would help it get above its all-time high, and if so, then we got a trade, baby. So right off the open, it had a good relative volume to keep an eye on it. I kept an eye on it for the first 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes set up for a beautiful opening range breakout, but instead of taking that original breakout, I actually started buying that little dip area over here into $52, if I remember accurately. Let's go find my chart again. If that's what I did right there, you can see how after it pulls back, holds that 52 area, and that's where maybe we can move this one to second one so that way I can alternate quicker. So holds into that 52 area, start building into that 52. I kind of chicken out half of my position, but then seeing the buying coming into the position right away after I punch out of half my size, I punch right back into that trade, whatever size I got out, basically saying, okay, I'm not gonna chicken out this time. I'm gonna hold it to my stop, and I'm gonna actually play out the trade. It goes higher, pulls back. I add again once more on the pullback, somewhere on the add of VWAP over here, and then I add on the break a high a day. I screw up my average by adding on the high a day over here, but thankfully I scalped some size out, but taking that add makes me lose a little bit of my position. Overall, pretty successful trade. I think if I not taken that add, I would have been able to hold this trade a little bit longer and maybe would have seen the bigger picture had that bigger picture come out later on, and even need to be looking to add on the rehold of the VWAP over here. Lower low, the stock got stuffed. Usually, copy image. Let's open up green shot. Hopefully I can draw on green shot. Let's see, open image from clipboard, open image over here. I should be able to draw on this, right? Anyways, usually after a stock gets stuffed over here and then gets, right here over here. So you can see how it got pushed down from here to here. and then it bounced right back up and kind of consolidated in this area right here. But then after consolidating that area, it got stuffed again, and the buyer over here allowed the stock to go to a newer low. But then even after going to a newer low, either that buyer stepped up or a different buyer stepped right back up, and they matched that selling immediately. So that area is usually a good spot to look for the long. The stops usually that are here got burnt out. The stops that are diamond handing a little bit more, maybe under VWAP or maybe under the low of that candle, are probably adding into these areas, and these longs are way more powerful than these shorts at the moment. These shorts are just looking to kind of scalp it with their stops at the high of here, maybe their stops at the high of here. So they're buying getting matched up right away. I could have looked to add into this position, and that would have given me a possible opportunity to look for a bigger trade. But knowing me, if I did add over here, I'll probably add over here, probably add over here, chicken out somewhere in these ranges, and probably be done with the trade and probably make the same amount of money anyway. So I'm not really like unhappy with how I traded it. I think I traded it to the best of my ability, but I think I forced this area without doubt. Forced the high day area a little bit. Could have managed that trade a little bit better. But my best trade on the day, CNN, baby. Earnings day one play, breakout of the high day, breakout of all-time high, just enjoying the ride to the upside. We see Dieter in the chat, TH in the chat, Angry Buddha in the chat. What's up, boys? How you guys doing? Everyone had a good day today, hopefully. Hopefully you guys killed it. I mean, what's your expectations for FOMC tomorrow? What's your expectations for FOMC tomorrow? I'm pretty interested to see what you guys have on that, have an idea on that one, and we'll talk about that more on store coming up, man. I'm very excited to see how FOMC comes up. I think this one's gonna be a very interesting FOMC, honestly. We got Swimmer in the house. That's gonna be a sick FOMC, honestly, in my opinion, if you think about it. Because last FOMC you had, I completely got distracted from my own trade over here. Look at me, my complete ADD brain. But let's talk about FOMC since we're talking about it. Last FOMC, we had Papa Powell talking about, you know, interest rates not getting rose by this one. Sorry, not getting cut by this one. But it's going to be in picture for May. But right now, we're looking like it's not going to be in picture for May either. And if he actually says that, what is the chances the market actually flushes? So like it's kind of, I'm thinking about it in that way. And then obviously you can flip coin on the other side too. Maybe he does say we're going to start cutting and the market just absolutely blasts off to the north side, right? So thinking about that side over too. I mean, my brain is spinning continuously for the last few days over here in terms of how the interest rates play out and how the market sets up too. So I would love to see how you guys are thinking. I think it's all baked in. You don't think there's a surprise though? You don't think he comes out with a surprise? I guess it would be his job to not come out with a surprise and not make the markets move irrationally. So I think you're right. I think he would respond in a way where it's all baked in too. But I don't think it's baked into the fact that, I mean, we can see this chart over here right now. Where is the Chicago Mercantile tool? Mercantile? Someone tell me what it is. Hey, what the hell, man? So 100% not cutting tomorrow. That's perfect. We were expecting cuts to start coming in on May, but right now the market is apparently pricing in 93% of not a cut in May. So you might be accurate in saying that. But what if he says no cut in June either, for which the market is currently pricing in 55% of it. 55% of it is being considered that the market is actually going to cut in June. But what if he says June, we're also not going to cut. We're going to hold it for half a year. And for the second half of the year, we're going to just rip off the band-aid on the market. And just drop the interest rates like a rock over here in the last 4 quarters. So, I mean, they're only pricing in a little bit of those drops too. You can see that. I guess the market is kind of pricing in that we're not gonna cut too hard, too fast. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what type of verbiage, what type of tonality Papa Powell will be coming on. Obviously, if he has pocket aces every goddamn hand, which he always does, then we just gotta have to deal with it tomorrow. We're just gonna have to deal with it tomorrow. Hopefully, we end up having a good trading opportunity on the whole Papa Powell situation. Do you guys have any trade ideas? Let me know what trade ideas you have so I can steal them from the chat over here. They have to pick between, wait, why am I looking through here? I have a better chat on my better screen. Bullish, they are stringing the market along. I think it's all baked in. I think their hands are kind of tied. They have to pick between proper fiscal policy and what's the banks and the administrations want. I guess, yeah, with the whole, what the debt crisis, is that still in picture at the moment? I think some bill got passed recently, right? So I don't know if that's still in picture. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, all they care is about lining their own pockets. All you have to do is follow Nancy Pelosi, and you understand the interest rates going up or down. Did she open puts recently? I think she did, or at least I thought she opened puts recently. And Nvidia has been stopped on its rally. However, Nvidia had a pretty good rally today. Nvidia, after like hitting that 850 lows. My goodness, 850 to almost 900 today. No, it did go about 900. I'm trying to remember. 906, I think, is the number I saw on Nvidia today. So monster move on that stock from 850 to 906. My goodness. Whew. All right, coming back to one of my trades over here today again. Dell, pretty much a copy of what Nvidia's chart looks like a little bit until here. I guess I could have done the same thing on Nvidia and I've could have made a lot more money. But overall, Dell was kind of in the whole partnership with Nvidia. It got announced yesterday, after hours actually, sorry, not pre-market. Had a nice little pop in the after hours. We were talking about it on our watch list last night. Dell actually played out perfectly. If you were watching the stream, it went right into those bottoms of 104, 105s. And bounced perfectly off those lows, giving you an opportunity to get long into that all the way into 108 multiple times. Well, I guess long over there. However, it did give you an opportunity to add into VWAPs and a nice little ride into 108 for those of you who are watching it. Shout out to you if you took that trade. Nice little V pattern too, right off the open. Boom, drops into 105, bounces right off of 105. I wish I was watching it then. I would have been able to caught that move, but I missed out on it. Dell looks like it's going to still be interesting for the next few days, so we have it on our watch list coming up. But we're just talking about my trade on the day over here. Nice little quick long scalp. Some trades were flat. I think that one was flat, this one was flat, that one was flat. At the end of the day, it was just kind of this trade over here and a little bit of this trade over here that ended up making some money on Dell. Didn't really trade it too well. I think forced it on the long over here because of how Nvidia was moving. Nvidia was just being way more aggressive, and it makes sense. It's their conference. It's not Dell's conference, right? Makes sense. Here's AMD, the only short I had on the day. Took that 180 break. It did go about 60 cents in the money for me, if I remember accurately. Failed afterwards. Came right back, stopped me out, walked away from the trade. I think I could have gotten back later, or I could have even gotten over here. I was looking for an opportunity to get back short when it made this pop, but I was waiting a little bit higher. I wanted to see how the stocks would do above that 180, 180, and after not seeing that 180, 180, I just kind of said, you know what, I'll just have an order wait, and I'll have an alert order for it to go into that 180, 180, 180, 170. Doesn't really go up there. I think it rejects into 184.50s, 184.60s, and I missed out on that alert order, at which point I pull up the stock and I see, oh wow, I don't get picked up on this ride over here, and I miss out. I guess I should have been a little bit more active, should have been watching it, way more in play, doing a little bit more R-vol than all the other stocks on the day, so should have been watching it. But I'm not gonna complain. Took a one shot, missed out on the ride, and we at the end of the day still ended up green on the day, baby. So nice little what is it? Did I say 3 or 4? 4-day green streak coming in. I'm still pointing 3. 4-day green streak coming in over there on I guess it should be 3 because one of them was like only only a small green day, which was like I'm gonna consider flat day. But green's green, baby. So 4-day winning streak coming in over here, and we're waiting to see if FOMC is gonna hurt us on that streak, or you know, keep that streak running and boost that streak a little bit. So let's see if Papa Powell, who we're gonna play poker against tomorrow, I'm watching you, Papa Powell, how you help us tomorrow or you hurt us tomorrow. 55% yes, 45% not, says Swimmer over here. I guess you're talking about the expected move to the upside and the expected move to the downside on the FOMC, or to cut or not cut. To cut or not cut. Whatever. Market maker do what they want. Market maker at the end of the day is God. He is God. Did you guys see that new meme on Instagram that got posted? I think I posted on my story. I can't remember what channel posted it. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, this whole stuff is pretty cool too. This whole Blackwell stuff. It's pretty insane. The NVIDIA chip. 6 messages. Goddamn unpopular, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go here and take a look at... Yeah, go follow me on Instagram. But this picture right here. See the post? When you think of going into retail trading, remember your competition is the most decorated math Olympiad. Maybe we can zoom into this picture a little bit. You guys should be able to see this, right? I'm hoping you guys see this. I'm not going to zoom into it. Screw it. But he's basically a quantitative researcher at Citadel. You know what Citadel is? Citadel is basically the market makers of all market makers. I'm not going to try and say his name because that's going to be racist. Buddy is an absolute mathematical genius. At one point in his life, he got a bronze medal all the way down over here in the competition in Canada for mathematics, where he got 56th percentile. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened over here. Maybe he just came to Canada from whatever country he's from. Just first time ever smoked weed or something. Failed that exam. And ever since then, just absolutely aced every single exam, every single test. Gold. He just put the weed down. Put down the weed. Put the weed down. Buddy went straight to the books. Bronze, he said, never again. He said, never again. Gold. Shout out to Alex Song. Absolute legend. Now, this is who our competition is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is your competition when you go to the stock markets. You think you're going to go out there, beat this guy? You think you're going to go out and beat this guy? Good luck. Have fun. Good luck with your adventures. But sometimes you get lucky meeting somebody at the same level as yourself. Sometimes you get lucky and meet somebody at the same level as yourself or a little bit under, and you get to kind of squeeze that money out of his pocket. But the better way, in my opinion, is find this guy. Find what trade Alex is in by finding the big money movers where the whales are and just follow their path. Just follow the money, follow the trend, follow their path, and your trades will just be a lot easier. This is coming from somebody who was a big reversal trader. I used to always look for those short on a really trendy stock to the north side, or look for a long on a really trendy stock to the downside. Part of that was FOMOing on not catching my opening range breakout on that stock, or some sort of a trend move on that stock, and then I'll try to catch like the lower day, and then the lower day breaks, and I'll try to catch another lower day and try to catch another lower day, falling knives. But now, instead of doing that, I've learned how to kind of follow the money, follow the flow, follow the trend, and it's just been making trading so much easier. Just wait for the pullbacks. After the pullbacks are done, you wait to see if buying shows up again. If it does at a better price, above VWAP, at a bit near some technical levels that you're watching, or near some technical indicators that you might be watching, your RSI or your MACDs might come into play over there, whatever it is, and then it shows you some proper trends that you're able to follow in on a chart that you can visually see without any indicators. There's a clear trend to the upside. Beautiful trade. follow it, put your money to work where bigger money is actually putting to it. So I've been, you know, that transformation has been helping me so much. Whew. I want to thank my managers for that. I want to thank my managers at my new office who've been absolutely helping me transform my trading. Shout out to them, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to them. But coming back to the market over here, you know, we're talking about FOMC and all that other stuff, but we do have earnings still coming up tomorrow. Pre-market, big earnings board still coming up, even in the close. Micron in the after hours, Chewy in the after hours, all of which we'll talk about tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So make sure you show up. We stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. So make sure you show up for that one. Lunar reporting pre-market. We talked about that company a little bit yesterday. FedEx usually is either the end of the earnings season or the start of the end earnings season. Does that mean the new earnings season starts but right back up again? That's going to be hype. I think right after this earnings board dies down over here on Friday, I think next Friday after that should be banks, if I remember, or maybe a week after that. But overall, earnings board should restart itself. My goodness, I can't speak. Should restart very soon because FedEx is usually either the start or the end of the earnings season, if I remember correctly. So it should get very, very hype very, very soon. What are you dressed like? A broke Irish leprechaun? What the hell? I mean, I'm not Yo, this girl hates me, bro. This is my moderator too. What the hell, man? FAS Bank 3 times bull has been running up for months. FAS. What the hell is that? Is that an ETF? Is that an ETF, mate? It is a directional 3 times bull mutual fund ETF. Okay. Direction. Who is Direction the company, or is somebody else runs this and Direction is just their fund name? I love that you never have an answer for me. I mean, how do I answer that stupid question? Okay, come on, Ani, you just hate her. You're a hater. Somebody unmod her. Unmod this hater. But 3 times bank bull. Banks have been pretty damn strong. I mean, JPM, I heard one of my friends call that out. What the frick? JPM is at all-time high? Holy smokes. Imagine buying JPM on the bank crisis. No, it's not the bank crisis. That's the bank crisis. Wow. Now I'm just checking my Canadian banks for no reason. But yeah, I mean, JPM at all-time highs. I did not expect that. Citigroup sucks. All right. WFC, BAC, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman sucks. Yeah, JP Morgan's the king right now. Damn, JP, I see what you're doing. Not just degenerating into SOL shit coins. Yeah, I mean, you should have what's that coin even called? What's that stupid coin even called? How do I find meme coins, chat? What's that coin that... I think this is the one. Is this the one? What's that coin with dog with the hat? Do I even search this right now? Like, that's insane, man. People are so rich off of this. This is insane. Like, this stuff is like making people millions right now. You got to be able to get out of it though. And when you do get out of it, you can see how much of that move is going to come in. And yeah, all of your years experience and you still can't compete with these shit coins. Absolute craziness. Imagine the person who, or the guy who even made this coin. When he pulls the rug, how many people are going to lose money? But how many people have made money? Because they're not stupid and they're not just holding on to the coin for thinking that it's going to go into Bitcoin status of $70,000. Right? So, I mean, I don't know what some people are hoping for, but this stuff is insane. And I think this happened too because Elon Musk posted a picture of his Doge, I think his Shiba Inu, with the hat on top of it. So this coin absolutely took off to the north side. And yeah, shit coins are absolutely going insane at the moment. Trading is so easy. Yeah, just you know, just put a grand in here and call it a day. Call it a day. Insane. Absolutely insane. People are actually making insane money off of this type of nonsense. I have a buddy who's in a coin that, I mean, you need to take some profits. You're gonna go broke when they pull the rug on you. But SOL is not a shit coin, I guess. Solana, however, Solana was that the one that was created by the FTX scammer, Scam Bankman-Fried, or is that? I forget which one he had a hand in. I forget if this was the one or Cardano or something, but either way, maybe neither of them at the end of the neither. Stop, that's the FTX coin. That's the FTX coin. Got it. Solana is no way a shit coin. Then what happened? Something happened in between with Solana that kind of like dropped like crazy, if I remember accurately. Maybe that was just the whole Bitcoin and everything else kind of crashing, and that kind of brought it all the way down. Not sure what happened in the middle period, but hey, pretty good goddamn recovery. Almost all-time high coming on SOL. I don't know where you are in Ani, but let's go. Ani keeps calling a shitcoin though. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading the chat. Ani calls a shitcoin. Just kidding, Angry Buddha. I know you love it. Angry Buddha loves shitcoins. No, I'm joking. Angry Buddha loves cryptocurrency. He is waiting for that Bitcoin dip at 58,000. I mean, it's not that far out. We're gonna see what happens at that 58,000. I'm honestly hoping it doesn't break 60,000. I mean, I already took some of my money out. At this point, I'm just playing with house money. I'm not going to complain with what it does at this point. But it would be sad to see that house money go right all the way back down to 30,000. I don't want to see that. I think the Bitcoin Mandala expects the Bitcoin market to still keep going up. Trying to find the picture for us. The Bitcoin Mandala still expects the price of Bitcoin to still keep going up. So if that's the case, show me the picture, show me the picture, show me the picture, show me the picture. God damn it. It's in that case, you know, I'm not pulling out yet. My pullout game's not gonna be called weak. I'm gonna be diamond hands, baby. I'm gonna hold strong. So we'll see what happens over there on BTC. I found one soul I bought for $12 in a random wallet. It was $195 when I bought it. Ooh, when you found it. Nice. Soul isn't a shitcoin, the fuck. Stop putting words in my mouth. Yo, you just said up top. Did you not? I'm scrolling up right now. Hold up. Chat, she's... Yeah, she didn't say that. I swear to God, I read her saying this. Am I tripping balls? She did say it. Nada, just degenning into SOL shitcoins. She did say it. See, I'm not tripping balls. You guys had me thinking I was tripping balls over here. Good job. You guys won. Chat always wins. God damn it, chat. We're like 20 days away from the halving. Ooh, I forgot about that coming up. I kind of completely forgot about the Bitcoin halving. Yeah, Bitcoin halving coming up. So that should help with the what is it? The demand. So the demand should still stay the same, hopefully, and the supply should cut thin a little bit. So we should start seeing a little bit more higher move. Same demand, lower supply, bigger squeeze to the north side. So let's see what happens on the Bitcoin halving. That'll be interesting. Well, Solana is a blockchain that has coins, layer 2 coins on it. Not sure what that means, brother. I'll be honest, but layer 2 sounds pretty good. Layer 2 sounds pretty damn good. This is why I stay with the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I stay with the stock market. I don't understand why dog with hats go thousands of percents. I don't understand what layer 2 is. I guess I should spend some time to understand it. Right now, all I do is watch them. All I do is win. All I do is watch what Bitcoin does and see if there's any trading opportunities on their partners in crime on the ETF side. So see if GBTC can set up for a trade. See if Coinbase can set up for a trade. And I think Coinbase in the after hours over here possibly flushed a little bit. No, didn't really flush too much. I guess that after hour move that came down to 60K on Bitcoin probably came in much later than 8 o'clock. And we're seeing Coinbase not really getting affected too much by it. Possibly see Coinbase flush tomorrow in pre-market, going right back under 200 even, most likely, with that Bitcoin move. And if Bitcoin rallies right back up tomorrow in the overnight session, in the Chinese session, then God knows what happens. Anything is really possible. So watching how the Bitcoin sector kind of keeping a track overnight, and then seeing how they can set up for trades on BITO, see how they can set up trades for Coinbase, on GBTC, on IBIT. IBIT's actually a pretty good one to keep an eye out to also. Does a lot more volume than BITO and GBTC, so I think I would probably keep this one on watch. Gives you more opportunities to get in and out of the trade and be a little bit right and wrong. Okay, SEC just got slapped on their hand by a judge for lying in court documents. About what? Dog with hat. Hey, I'm gonna put a hat on my dog at this point and make a coin out of it, and if it better go up 1,000%, or I'm pissed. I'm pissed. All I want to do is pull a rug on somebody. Come on, man. Let me rug somebody. That came out wrong. Pause. Whoa. Let's get back to the market. That just came out wrong. But coming back to the market here, I mean, there's nothing really to talk about in terms of our watch list tomorrow. It's basically the same thing that we talked about yesterday. We have stocks like CNM. CNM is going to be a pretty interesting stock. We're going to be watching how it behaves in this 55 area, how the stock that behaves if it goes back into that previous all-time high of $52, and if it actually even doesn't able to hold 52 on the bid, then we're expecting to at least hold 50, which was today's low. And if it doesn't hold 50, then was that earnings report really that bullish? So you're wondering what happens over there on CNM. XPEV came out with earnings today pre-market, but didn't really do anything. However, we do have a nice little range here, possible range breakout of 10 to the north side. We could get a little excited on XPEV, and if it does push back down here, maybe some support into $9, maybe a break in $9 for a bigger move to the downside if that report wasn't actually appreciated by the market. Looking for some sort of a day 2 move here on XPEV, but like I mentioned yesterday, XPEV not really something that we're going to be too interested to keep on watch tomorrow. We got more interesting things, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the IPO stock. So something that's coming up on the IPO for the next 2 days. Tomorrow, Astera Labs and Reddit. So we'll talk about Reddit tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But tomorrow, we have Astera Labs, so we'll talk about that today. Astera Labs is... You know what? I actually think I did this at work today. I did. Aw. Did I do this here? I didn't do it right. Okay, screw it. We're just gonna read it. Where's that link? Right there. Astera Labs Innovate design, deliver semiconductor-based connectivity solutions that are purpose-built to unleash the full potential of cloud and AI infrastructure. I mean, do we need to read more than that? That pretty much sums up everything you need to know for this stock for tomorrow. Now I'm just being lazy. Obviously, an AI-based company, but what we want to know is the financials for the stock. Are they making money? Are they losing money? Net income, they're actually losing money, but their revenue is actually positive. Total assets, total liabilities. They have some filings over here that we can go check out if we want to. Company filings. Experts. What is experts? Ooh, this is actually pretty interesting. Auditor, company counsel, lead underwriter, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. That's huge. Two big lead underwriters, and you got a bunch of other underwriters over here too. Underwriters are basically, I guess, the ones who are offering the stock to the market, or they are the ones who are, if I remember correctly from what I've been educated on, this is, you know, when Facebook went public, the underwriter clearly came up and showed up on the bid, and they were not letting the stock go down. So sometimes there's an obligation for these underwriters that they're going to provide liquidity to the market in a functional way, in a proper way where the stock won't really crash to the downside. They're going to uphold the liquidity of the stock. They're going to uphold the price of the stock, but it also has to be in a functional way. It doesn't have to, it could be in percentage terms per minute, per hour, on volume base. Anything is possible. That's why people use these big indicators to see if big money is playing and how are they playing off of these stocks and so on. So it will be interesting to see if we see a big bid just coming on, kind of like a big bid on Facebook, or kind of those don't really happen anymore, but kind of like a big on ARM. I think we actually saw a big bid on ARM showing up. So we'll be able to play off of that type of catalyst tomorrow, looking to see if a nice size shows up on the open off the stock, off of the IPO. If a big bid shows up after it flushes down, maybe a big ask shows up on the north side and we're able to take the breakout of that size, or we front run that size a little bit for some short scalps. So many opportunities shows up on the stock's IPO, and the fact that we have so many underwriters, we look like we could have a little bit of action on the game over here to see how it all sets up over here for ALABs. The fact that they make money is actually pretty good, I think, and you know, we clearly found out that they do all about what semiconductors, AIs. Cosmos, our software suite, which embedded our connectivity products and integrated our customer systems. Our intelligent connectivity platform provide our customers with the ability to deploy and operate high performance cloud AI infrastructure at scale, addressing an increasingly diverse set of requirements. Okay, who do you actually provide work to? Introducing Aries 6, 3rd gen Aries, PCIe CXL Smart DSP. Okay, these are just big words for my small brain. I'm guessing these are parts for hardware and stuff. Cable, smart cable modules. That's inside of a cable. Okay. All right, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. These are more server components over here. Okay. But who do you provide service to, my friend? Can I see who do you provide service to? I guess they're not gonna just say that, are they? Let me turn off my dark reader. Intelligent connectivity platform, cloud infrastructure management software stack. Okay. I'm gonna act like I understand what the hell is going on. All right. Let's see if they're applying, if they have jobs open right now. Oh, they do. Oh, in Toronto. Oh shit, that's pretty cool. Director of Design Verification. Should I apply, chat? Santa Clara, Taipei, Santa Clara, Israel, more Santa Clara, Taipei. They have a lot of people they need for a job, surprisingly enough. Finance, hardware, HR, internship, IT, marketing, product applications. Is it a good thing that they need so many people, or is it a bad thing that they need so many people? I don't understand about that. I mean, I was actually happy that they're hiring so many people, but now I'm actually not sure if it's a good thing that they're hiring so many people. But Astera Labs clearly IPOing up tomorrow, expanding maybe. Yeah, could be something with expanding, or maybe their retention rate's low. So Glassdoor, Astera Labs. Hard work, sometimes long hours. You're just a bitch. Uh, Business outlook recommended no. Found engineering culture to be insular. Oh, a big word over there. Non-transparent, micromanaging, surprisingly incompetent, in fairness to foundries. Okay, that's awesome. No, stop doxing me. Um, okay, recommended. Cons, nothing major. You can't expect infrastructure of an establishing infrastructure of an establishing big company. Established big company. This is a pretty big company, I guess. How many workers do they have? How many workers do they have? Does that say somewhere here? Employees as of 2024, 267. So you're not that big of a company, but I guess so. You're hiring a lot of people across the globe from what we saw just a second ago, all across the place. Hey, Indian CEO, let's go. Dinger, 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 dinger. That was pretty racist. That was pretty. Can I be racist to my own people? I don't think so. So yeah. Anyways, they do have a lockup period of 180 days, but I think this website says that for every single stock. I've seen it say that for a stock that doesn't have a lockup period also, but we do have a lockup period. It says for 180 days. We're gonna stick to that. How many shares did they say they're gonna come out with tomorrow? They're gonna offer about 19 million, 19.8. So let's say 20 million shares coming out, and the range price of 32 to 34. Let's expect the stock to get priced in around the price of $30. Even if it opens and pushes down to 30, as I was saying, some of the big underwriters, some of the big market makers, the liquidity providers just show up with some good size for us to play off of. We could either get long off of that, we could either get short off of that. So ALAB's very much in play tomorrow. There's actually a website that one of my bosses today found out, so I'm gonna try and use this website right now. ALAB. So let's find out how the stock looks like on ALAB. So IPO price range, there we go. Shares offered, deal size amount, market cap $5 billion. That's not bad. Revenue, we saw that. Net income, screw away. We already are signed up for that. Net income, shares outstanding. Oh, we already, okay, that's pretty good. So we see that the offer shares are that much, and the overall shares outstanding are 152 mil. It's not a small company then, huh? This gets a little interesting. Do we want to read this? Please don't be a paywall. Please don't be a paywall. Please don't be a paywall. Okay. Higher price expecting 32 versus the previous range of 27 to 30. Okay. Raises. Okay. With the Reddit IPO. Blah, 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 blah. Astera Labs makes connectivity hardware for cloud and computing data centers because AI requires massive amounts of data moving into, out, and around a data center. Astera Labs has seen recent recent revenue bloom after generating 79 million in 2022. Revenue swelled 45% in 2023 to 115 million, with 271 mentions of AI in the most recent SEC filing. The company the company is working hard to convince investors that it's part of the large international artificial intelligence boom. That's hilarious. They counted over there how many times it said AI in their filing. Just how much AI juice Astera really has for the long-term successes for debate. Vice President of Renaissance Capital. Ooh, isn't that Isn't that Jim Simmons? Not Jim Simmons? Or is that Rentec? In Russia? Russia. Rentech. Okay, I am thinking about Rentech. Renaissance, Rentech, Renaissance Technologies. And what was the other one? Renaissance Capital. Ah, that's where I got confused. Renaissance Technologies, Rentech, aka Rentech, or Renaissance Capital, which was formerly established in Russia, moved to London, UK. That's where I got confused. Obviously, gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, you need to get acquainted with the legend himself. The legend, absolute legend. But here's the quick little synopsis on ASTR. I mean, you guys can look out for this website, stockanalysis.com, and then look for the stock ALABs if you want to do a little bit more deep search into this position. I might have to do this on my own off time over here. Want to learn more about this company. And the same thing for Reddit, RDDT. So obviously, we're going to be using this for Reddit tomorrow. Very, very interesting little find. Thank you to one of my bosses for finding this, and we'll see what happens. What do I have to win, Ani? What do I win? You win nothing. You win absolutely nothing. The only Renaissance I trust is the fair in New York, the Renaissance Fair. Never been there, heard about it. What is it about? What is that fair about? Not much. Working in the background and trying to buy meme coins at the right time. Ani over here is a big time trader now. Lo-fi beat, more the style of Prad intro. Yes, and then we're gonna play the Dieter outro for the exit today. The Dieter outro, as we always will play the exit, the 100% exiter for every single night. Especially because it's got the nice little TraderPrad out. The cutoff at the end, that cutoff is nice. I like that. We totally do AI things, we promise. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Pretty much. AI things, guys, we promise. Please, just listen to us. We do AI stuff, okay? And we're gonna give you. Actually, they do have cloud stuff. Then usually companies as big as ALABs, they talk about their partners on their website, but I don't really see any partners on their website. So I'm pretty surprised about that one. Maybe let's go to About Us. There we go. Investors. Ah, there we go. I just had to do a little bit more clicky. More clicky, give the answers. So they're investors. Okay. Intel's invested in them. I mean, this just got a little bit more juicy. That just got a little bit more juicy. That just said that Amazon is invested in them. So possible connections over here. I mean, they look like they are a real player. They look like they're a real player, and they talk about their partners. They talk about their revenue. You can't just lie about your revenue. I mean, some companies have done that before. We're talking about, you know, what is it? Not ExxonMobil, but XCOM. I'm forgetting how that company's ticker or name even goes now. This is embarrassing. But you know, companies have lied about their reports before. But I'm not saying ALABs is in that basket. ALABs have clearly backed partners. We saw the big banks are backing them. Enron, thank you, Swimmer. How can I forget about Enron? Completely mind blanking over there. My mind just kept thinking ExxonMobil, and I could not think of Enron for some reason. But thank you, Swimmer. Appreciate your help on that one. Fuck, did I fuck that up? What did you fuck up? Let me view these deleted messages. Fidelity don't fuck around. Oh, you got banned by Streamlabs. Streamlabs is getting your ass, boy. Streamlabs is banning your ass. What did you do? Streamlabs hate your ass for cursing, bro. Come on, Streamlabs, be nice. I need to turn down Streamlabs strictness. I'll do that after stream if I remember. Please remind me. But yeah, that's gonna be a pretty interesting IPO. I'm very, very excited. Besides the IPO, I don't think I'm really too excited to make any trade. Maybe GIS, depending on what type of earnings report they come out. If they come out with a pretty decent earnings report, I think we can get some moves over here. Pinduoduo might be something that I'll watch for off the open. But most of my trading might be off of that 2 o'clock sentiment, off the IPO sentiment, and that's where the hype is. And the next day after that, Reddit IPO, that's gonna be where the hype is. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna keep an eye out on Nvidia. I'm gonna keep an eye out on all the large caps. Microsoft, look to see where they are in relation to their all-time highs or their yesterday's levels, which is today's levels, and so on. So we'll be watching how all those trades set up for us, and set up for a trade maybe intraday on that one for a swing type of setup. But overall, mainly interested to see how ALAB set up. I want to save all my mental capital, all my mental risk on ALAB, and if ALAB ends up being a dud, a nothing burger, then you just move on and trade the FOMC. And if FOMC ends up being a nothing burger, you move on, you maybe make nothing on the day, and you come back tomorrow, right? That's the mentality that I want to be. You find your one trade that you want to smash, and for me, it's going to be ALAB tomorrow and Reddit the day after, and I want to absolutely put all my burgers in one basket. Is that the right phrase? It is now. All my burgers in the same basket. Fuck the eggs. Let's see if we can watch a video today before we can call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we can. How to trade failed follow-through setups. Ooh, I think this will be a good one too. Yesterday we saw a video about how to trade bullish trend reversal patterns. That one actually was a pretty good video, and we're gonna continue with this whole approach with watching this whole playlist. It's about 42 separate videos over here from Investors Underground. So let's watch over here on how to trade failed follow-through setups, and maybe once again we learned something new, ladies and gentlemen. Watch something new, baby. Let's watch this shit. I like your approach, setting up that good plan. You know it, baby. Smoke that good, trade that good, be that good. I don't know what I'm trying to get with over here. I'll just shut up. It never makes sense sometimes. Let's see where the music app is. Music, thank you very much. Ooh, that was right at the end of the last track that we had. So shout out to that. We can now bump up the volume for this one for you guys. That's already max. And now we just hit play. You guys ready? Let's go watch it.
Just with Investors Underground.
Oh my god, my headphones. That was really loud.
Look at 2 similar
Holy
trading patterns.
Shit.
They're both reversal patterns that have to do with buying a stock after it's been sold off and it bounces. The first one of these is called a bounce trade. And this
Wait, didn't we talk about this trade yesterday? It's the same damn video, bro. Okay, but we're gonna talk about it again, I guess. But first, chat, we're gonna have to go to Lip Pillow. This part of the stream is sponsored by Zonic. Actually, no, it's not at all. Not at all. But Lip Pillow time. Shout out to Zonic over here. Keeping my nicotine cravings away 100%. It's a nice flavor too. It's a blueberry frost flavor. Kind of like the blueberry color I got going on in the background over there.
This is a short-term bounce after a stock has, and the second.
I'm pretty sure the same trade we talked about yesterday.
And that's more of a swing
trade. And so is that one
on a longer time frame. In this video, we're going to explore both of these patterns, show you what to look for.
Am I watching the same trade?
Where to set your stop, where to potentially.
Because I'm watching the same video, Brad. That's why.
Hi, this is Chris with Investors Underground. In today's video, we're going to cover the failed follow-through setup. This is really a setup that shows the change between a bullish trend turning into a bearish trend.
New video, guys.
This can be on the intraday or the interday. So the whole idea behind failed follow-through is a stock that has been moving upwards and it starts to run against a resistance level. And so price cannot break above a certain level. Now it starts to go into a channel or a sideways pattern with an upward resistance and a lower support zone. Now when price cannot break above the upward resistance, but it does break down below that lower support, that is considered failed follow through, and it can be a sign of a trend changing from bullish to bearish. This can happen either on an intraday basis or on an interday basis over longer time frames. So today we're going to take a look at the stock UPST, and it's really a great example of the failed follow-through concept on not only the intraday but also the interday, as this has been setting up for about a month or so. And just as a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor and these are not buy or sell recommendations. This is for informational and educational purposes only. So what we see right here is the monthly chart. I have the daily set up, and what we can really see is that this chart has been building for quite some time. We had a lot of consolidation, we had higher lows, and we had a big ramp up. And then we had another period of consolidation where you really put a top in under that 50 level or around that 49 level. And so you can see that it tests it several times, and then all the while, this bottom channel down here was acting as support. And so that's really what the failed follow-through momentum setup looks like from a distance. It has peaks out into a level that it can't break, and it has an underlying trend line of support. And what we're going to look for is when that trend line breaks and then starts to act as resistance instead of support. So let's take a more granular look at this chart. So here's that same time frame of a month, and we're looking at the 60-minute chart now. And you can see just with more detail the wicks soaking this up.
I think that was like
it's
on
building,
the...
and then finally
like,
it has a big
really long-term chart.
Ramps up, consolidates, makes some higher lows.
But this is the 60-minute chart.
It runs into resistance around that 49 to 50 level. And so you can see that it peaked out. We had that wick that shows that there's a lot of resistance there, because whenever you see a wick, whether it's on a daily or whether it's on an intraday or really any time frame, a wick signifies that someone was trying to ramp this thing up and it immediately got stuffed back down. And so you can see that on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 10 minute, and really the time frame that you choose to look at it can show some of the strength of that rejection. And so we've seen multiple rejections here and here. So really when you're looking at a trend, you want to look at both the top or the resistance and the bottom. And so you could see that even though it had peaked out several times, it never really breached this bottom area of support down here.
Yeah, okay.
So over the course of the last month, that has acted as a major key support line. So we have resistance, it peaked out a few times, but it never broke support. So coming up to more recently, let's take a look at how this stock has acted over the last 10 days or so, and really where that key shift was from a stock consolidating, rejecting, to failed follow through on the intraday. So again, this is a more granular view on the 10-day time frame, again using the 60-minute, and I'll put it down to the 30-minute time frame. So you can see that area of support was right around here, and it went all the way through. These gray areas, that's just showing pre-market or after hours, and then this is the actual trading day. So you can see even during pre-market, even during after hours, this acted as a major key level. Once again, looking on the monthly,
alert.
You can see that area where it ramped up, it was holding support through this line, and then one day the trend changes and that support line now acts as resistance, and once it flushed down and tried to ramp back up, it never even tested or breached that line again. Many times it will test, but if you have a big flush like this did on UPST, then you might not even get another chance to go up and test that support line, which is now resistance. So now in the 5-day time frame, you can see that it's a series of ramping up, stuffing into that prior resistance, and then slowly fading off. And just day after day, it's the same pattern of trying to ramp up, stuffing, flushing down, and then staying heavy under VWAP. And what VWAP is, it's basically just where are the average people trading
was a false
at?
breakout
What price are they trading it at? And if you're below VWAP, that means that the majority of people are buying it.
I guess he's explaining the follow-through first, then he's going to explain the failed follow-through.
And so looking at an even shorter time frame now, you can see the same pattern of the stock ramping up in the morning, stuffing into resistance that used to be support, flushing down, making lower highs, getting heavy, seeing the wicks, flushing down, staying under VWAP, and that trend just continues day after day after day. And so we can see the same thing happening on the intraday, where it ramped up, stuffed into resistance, flushed down,
I get what
stayed
you're
heavy
saying.
under VWAP, and continued to make lower highs,
So right
lower
here,
lows.
that failed follow through. It fails to have follow through to the upside, pulls back. That gives you the short every single day intraday.
And this is a really beautiful example
saying.
of a failed follow through.
Okay, yeah.
And let's just take a quick look at a few other examples so that we can really understand how failed follow through looks on different time frames and on different charts.
Are you watching for that from here, or are you watching for that after it kind of goes under that little consolidation box it's in? Because it kind of makes sense over here too, right?
Same completely, but you'll see similarities
or
on different time frames.
Here, actually.
So for instance, with this one, AEHR, you can see a very similar long base and those peaks out into that 30 level, very similar to UPST, where it had a top line trend kind of capping it, a bottom line trend, and then once it started to break that level, slams down, failed follow through, and that prior support now becomes resistance, and you had a multi-day unwind very similar to UPST. So that's another example of how failed follow through real quick on a longer time.
On Lee Auto, maybe we'll real quick go here. Hey, look at that one, right? Had a little bit of a consolidation here, I guess, after making that earnings pop. Keeps going down. Not sure how the intraday chart look over there. Maybe if we go to the 60-minute chart, you could see actually had some follow through there, but then after breaking under that, something to keep an eye out for. I like it. I understand it now.
Time frame can play out, but let's zoom in a little bit. So
yeah,
if we were to take
into the winner,
this area up here, this is also an example of failed follow through on a shorter time frame. So you can see the trend ramping up,
hey, I called that one,
peaking out, forming a small base here, and then once it slams down, stays heavy under VWAP, and that prior support becomes resistance. That's the exact same thing as a larger time frame example playing out here. So if we zoom in on this area here,
this lip pillow is making me want to take a shit, chat.
We can see the uptrend holding dips, starts to speed up a little bit, peaks out, has that channel with a base formed and a top area that can't be breached. And the day that we slam down and it stays heavy under VWAP,
basic rejection of yesterday's high, and you're shorting it the next day, kind of.
That's an example of failed follow through.
Failed follow through.
So not every example is going to be a multi-day unwinder. Sometimes, especially in small cap stocks, these are happening very quickly, maybe over the course of 1, 2, or 3 days, and it can take the shape of a parabolic that fails to follow through by a big ramp up, big volume spike, and then it starts to peak out.
Couple stocks in the large cap are actually could set up for something like that too. Maybe you got Microsoft in a nice little range over here. Once it breaks the range over here, if it ever breaks this range, you know, we could have some failed follow through moves every single day. I'm guessing Google kind of did that recently. Not really. Maybe somewhere here. Not really. Nah. Apple kind of broke down not too long ago. That one got stuff. Maybe it's not something for large cap stocks, but something to keep an eye out for. I mean, I was hoping that he would talk more in depth of, like, you know, you're looking for stocks for example, Dell today. I was hoping he would give me an example like Dell, but I guess he did give you that example, right? So Dell, you can see how every single day kind of got stuffed. It had a nice little consolidation here. We talked about this consolidation yesterday. We talked about that possible long into that 105 lows. That 105 lows got tested today right off the open. Bang, right off the open. And that failed to follow through under yesterday's low, or the day before that low, or the day before that low, is giving you a nice little long on every single day. Gave you a long there, gave you a long there, a long there, a long here, and possible long for the next few days as long as 105 keeps holding. And the day 105 does not hold, you got more downside opening up for that gap close coming in under 100. So Dell is a stock that I would say is a must watch, and that would be kind of something that I was hoping that he would saying, but I guess he did talk about that just on stocks that I was not really expecting to talk, which is like small cap stocks. Makes sense though. Investor Underground, they're like small cap legends. They trade small caps more. So it's actually good that I'm watching it because I want to learn more about small caps.
Through by consolidating, retesting the highs, slamming down, and then ramping up and staying heavy. And just
Nick
to show
activates the gut. It's gonna need some liquidity later. Yeah, no kidding. So as the stream ends, I'm heading to
spike out,
the washroom right away.
Consolidation, and then failing to follow through that prior high, slams down. You can see it retest that prior base and that support, slams down, failed, follow through, stays heavy under VWAP, consolidates. And again, who knows? You don't have to count on a multi-day unwind. Maybe it has a failed follow through, unwinds a little bit, consolidates, and then it starts to reclaim levels and perk back up. So it depends on the stock that you're trading, but you don't always want to assume that a failed follow through is followed by a multi-day unwind. Sometimes it's just a quick slam down, retest for a day or two, and then it could reclaim and the trend could actually continue higher. But the trend from this big parabolic move, that is the move that it's failing to follow through from, not necessarily a larger time frame move if you zoom out. Now, the way to really trade this is to have those lines marked out, the support and the resistance, and when it ramps up, you want to basically see it stuff and reject, and that is your area for possible entry for either a short position or possibly a puts position if you're an options trader like I am. And so what I would look for is for it to ramp up, stuff into that resistance, chart? And I would want to...
So this just simply looks like a nice little opening range breakout to me. Beautiful opening range breakout. You got the opening range 5-minute breaks, doesn't really have much power above it. You got the opening range low, breaks out, pulls back, rejects that low, rejects VWAP, continues to flush even more. Beautiful opening range breakout, but obviously you can incorporate that false breakout, false follow through to the upside, that idea also along with here position to get a short quicker than actually having to wait for here or having to take that short here or something like
entry
that. Your stop is way better. Your stop is way better.
Using that line as a guide, the prior support now becoming resistance. And so that increases my reward potential if I'm right, because it's a low risk level where I have a tight stop on it, and I have a high reward because the trend is flush, come back, stay heavy under VWAP, and it just bleeds out.
Bleeds
out.
So
the whole idea behind failed follow through is a stock that has been moving upwards and it starts to run against a resistance level. And so price cannot break above a certain level. Now it starts to go into a channel or a sideways pattern with an upward resistance and a lower support zone.
You can flip it on the other side too for the long. I just showed it to you on Dell.
But it does break down below that lower support. That is considered failed follow through, and it can be a sign of a trend changing from bullish to bearish. This can happen either on an intraday basis or on an interday basis over longer time frames. I hope that that
was a pretty easy, pretty simple video. That was a good refresher though. Pretty good refresher. Nice refresher on failed follow-throughs, on what to be patient for, on what to really wait on the entry and so on. So nice little refresher. Yeah, this is the inverse of what we look for on the long. Exactly. What you want to look for on the long is the opposite of that. Something that I showed you on Dell. I know I keep saying that again and again. I think Dell might set up for a good trade for the next few days, especially near that 105, 110 areas. So keep it on your watch. I'll be keeping on my watch. We also got a bunch of other stocks tomorrow. We talked about most of them. Bitcoin stocks, Pinduoduo, GIS, and all that fun stuff. We'll be seeing how they set up for a trade tomorrow. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, it's your FOMC tomorrow. It's poker time with Papa Powell at 2 p.m. and also at 2:30. So that's going to be the #1 priority, and ALAB IPO the #2 priority for me. So we're going to make sure that we're going to save all the mental capital for that. I wish that you guys have a banger day tomorrow also. But before you head on to the night, make sure you click on some of the links down below along with that like and subscribe button if you have not already. It would do me big help with that whole YouTube algorithm mumbo jumbo. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, help your brother out a little bit. and my affiliate sponsor links, my Patreon, my Cameo, all that other fun stuff, and the social media links, they're all down below. Go check them out. Thank you to Benzinga, thank you to Trade Ideas, thank you to Trader Sync, who helped me keep my trading at the sharpest level possible. Those are the only 3 softwares that I use, and they make my trading the easiest, the fastest, and the best possible that it can be. So I would urge you guys to check out those 3 softwares right down below, along with their promo codes also. I will see you guys tomorrow. I can't wait to show you guys how I trade ALAB. I can't wait to talk about the Reddit IPO. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Have a banger night and have an even better market session, ladies and gentlemen. And you know where we go on before we go to bed over here. We got to play the outro. So have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao. Who's that? TraderPrad. TraderPrad. He's here. TraderPrad, he's here. As a trader, trade like that every single day. Playbooks, monster moves on the QQQ, monster moves on Nvidia and other positions too, all across the board. Magnificent 7 also had a pretty good day on themselves today, so pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.